What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Wednesday. Hope you're having an awesome hump day so far. Shout out to everyone that's been liking, subscribing, and commenting. If we have a look today, we're actually seeing some more green. Now, it's mild green. It's nothing to go crazy over, but we'll take it, right? Now, if we go over to CoinMarketCap, we're seeing a lot more red. So maybe they take their snapshots for the 24-hour, maybe at different times. But realistically, it's not that big of a deal because the market cap is still $140 billion. So we're pretty much just holding steady. We're holding tight, right? Now you can see volume overall is $32 billion. And Bitcoin, according to this, is sitting around $4,047. Now, having a look at this, not too many in the green. You are seeing Cardano in the top up 5.48%. We do have some news about that later on in the video. And if we look at the biggest gainers on the front, we have Tezos up 21%, Golem 20%, GX Chain 16, Huobi 15. So you can see that there's still some serious altcoin gains to be made today. Having a look at the Bitcoin chart, which is quite boring, I will say that. We are just trying to break above this 4K level. We do sometimes, and then we pull back. And then we break above it, and then we pull back. And now it seems like we're on our fourth attempt to try to get above it, not including all of the wicks. We are still struggling. Currently, we're at $3,997. Now, this is on Coinbase, okay? And yeah, so the global's above 4,000, but we're still struggling. We need to break above there. We need to stay above there. And then after that, we definitely need to not only get above this $4,143 mark, but I'd like to see us go even higher than the $4,188 that we had back here at this wick in late February. I've already spoken about what I think on the bearish side. We do have our support right here at 39.43 and another one down here at 37.66, okay? Going back down to the $3,100 mark, I'm not saying it's not possible. I just think that short term, we have been supported by this 200 weekly moving average. And right now that's calling for a fair value of 3,385. Okay. And currently, as you can see, we have not fallen below that in quite some time. Last time we did was back in 2015. So that's what I'm looking at currently. But I do want to draw attention to the fact that people are saying, I don't understand. We have this volume coming in. Why is Bitcoin's price not being reflected by it? Well, as you can actually see right here, volume has actually fallen down a little bit for Bitcoin, as you can see, compared to, the beginning of December and late November when we had that massive plummet. But what I want to turn your attention to is actually the total crypto market cap. As you can see right here, this is the total, okay? Crypto cap, this is everything. This is all crypto. And you can see volume is booming in the altcoins, actually just in crypto in general, but obviously the altcoins, right? So this is the logarithmic, and as you can see right here, we've actually broken out of this downwards trend if we look at the total crypto market cap, right? So that's something that I want to keep in mind. So, when you're asking, why are we seeing these, why are we seeing this increased volume, but we're not seeing a change in the Bitcoin price? Well, they're going into the altcoins. And I think you guys know by now, this can be proven, even if we just look at the total dominance of Bitcoin going back to, this is September 13th of 2018. And we had a Bitcoin dominance of 57%, whereas currently today we're sitting around 50.7%. Okay, so that's quite a percentage that's been lost, right? So where is it going? Well, the market cap, even though we have lost, it's been relatively stable lately. So that is the first thing to point out. I mean, when you have a look at, gainers like this, Tezos 20%, GX Chain 18%, Golem 15%, and then we go on and look at Bitcoin, the question is, why? What kind of gains are you really getting on the daily over here? So that's just something I wanted to point out as well. And, it's not even just on the first page. You guys could check all these other pages. I mean, look at these changes, right? True Chain, Buybox, Clams, Credo, Bugura, again, Civic, I mean, massive. If we go to the next page, you can see there's even more, 56%, 36, ArcBlock, 13, Presearch, 10, Phantom, 6%. So you can see there are a lot of coins up today, guys. And, even some of the altcoins that I was talking about in my top 10 video, you have Ergo up 15% today, right? Let's check out LTO. That's another one that I'm kind of 20% today. So why would you keep it in Bitcoin? But the thing is is that you have to kind of make sure that Bitcoin is also staying stable. So the question is there somebody manipulating the markets, keeping Bitcoin stable, but pumping these coins in the background? Well, you know what's going to happen. This is going to happen, and I don't know when, but eventually, they're going to say, this is enough. We've made enough gains, and then you're going to see those profits go into Bitcoin. You're probably going to see some kind of a sell-off, and you're going to see Bitcoin dominance skyrocket. This is just what I've seen every single time. Now, some good indicators that you can keep your eyes on are stablecoins, okay? Right now, the stablecoins are still in red. So Tether is 70%. Let's find another stablecoin. USD coin down 0.6%. Oh, I meant 0.7, not 70. But you can see that they're not in the green. Now, when you start to see the stable coins, getting into the very, very low negative reds or just starting to peak into the greens, that's when you may want to, say, hey, maybe these guys are doing something in the background, right? So I just wanted to bring that up as well. Now, here's the thing though. The markets are being a little weird right now because the markets are very positive. We're seeing a lot of good news. We're hearing so many good things come out. But then now all of a sudden you have the Bitcoin is in the dumps, spreading gloom over the crypto world. Article coming out from the Wall Street Journal last night. Why are we spreading FUD? Well, I can't read this to tell you the truth because I'm not subscribed to the Wall Street Journal, but I do have an excerpt from it and I want to read this to you. So it's saying bit the dust. Bitcoin is in the longest slump of its 10-year history. That is forcing even the most ardent supporters to shelve dreams of global disruption and focus on simply tightening their belts long enough to outlast the downturn. It hasn't really been that bad if you guys have been looking at the altcoins, but all right, let's keep going. While Bitcoin is trading well above its December 2016 level, the severity of the recent drop is raising concerns that it may never recover. Is anybody here actually thinking that Bitcoin's never going to recover? Come on. The market's long-term viability now hinges on the development of tangible uses for Bitcoin and its underlying blockchain technology. Now, okay, so I guess maybe my argument about the altcoins really doesn't work. They are talking about Bitcoin specifically, but come on, right here, raising concerns that it may never recover. Guys, we know that Bitcoin does this. Bitcoin has these massive booms and these massive busts, but it always recovers every single time. Why is this time going to be any different? Oh, wait, I forgot. The institutions are coming in and they want to tame the markets, right? That was the whole idea with the CBOE. Well, we'll get to that in just a second. I want to talk about, and by the way, guys, all of this ties in, so you definitely should stick around because I have like an interesting kind of like conspiracy that ties into this. But listen, so before, I just want to kind of like give you a little bit of a preface until we get to that point, right? So in a note to investors on Monday, the company's director for digital asset strategy at VanEck, Gabor Gerbox, said that rather than expecting a decisive breakthrough or a home run for cryptos in 2019, he said, look for the industry to continue hitting a number of singles, okay, instead of a home run, right? So you're just at bat and you're just hitting singles, right? Well, eventually you're going to start scoring some runs, right? So he says with Bitcoin falling from, its all-time high down to 3,000, some of us may hope that this was indeed a fad and was safely behind us, yet there are solid developments from some major companies. The following is a list of recent singles, including announcements, launches, and events that collectively can contribute to building out the digital assets markets. Gerbox points to Square Cash app, Bitcoin's integration, states like Ohio accepting Bitcoin for taxes, Samsung Galaxy's S10 crypto integrations, right? And, Engine Coin really skyrocketed on that one. Robinhood's BitLicense in New York, the expansion of Bitcoin derivatives, NASDAQ's collaborations. You have Swiss Crypto Basket ETP, Facebook's potential entry into cryptocurrencies. So these are just some of the things that he's saying, right? But we did have the CBOE pulling the plugs. Well, that's not a good sign, right? Well, maybe for us it's a good sign because basically all these guys did was just suppress the market and short the hell out of it, right? You had the guy Mark Dow, he closed out his short at 3,300 and he was just like, I'm done. That's enough. That's enough shorting. Like we shorted this thing down. We killed it, right? But they're taming it. That's what they're doing. Well, Brian Kelly says the fact that the CBOE has pulled the plug on Bitcoin futures indicates the retail sellers are exhausted. Now, he points this out because the CBO futures were just one contract, which is, currently around 3,900, almost 4,000 today, versus the CME, where it's 5 contracts at a time, right? So that's 5 Bitcoin each time. So that's about 20,000, he says. So I think retail is exhausted. You're going to start seeing sellers being exhausted. We're going to get back to this one, though. Are you sure it's just retail getting exhausted, or is there something bigger at play here? He says institutions are coming in. Fidelity is a catalyst coming up in Q2. I think with all those things combined, we might look back and say, you know what? In the 3000s was a great place to buy Bitcoin. So, oh no, CNBC is bullish. Short, right? Okay, but look at this. So Ross FM said, I hope everyone truly appreciates just how strange it is. 80% crash, and financial services industry responds, we want in, right? Just coincidence, newbies got scared off while corporations position themselves as the middlemen. Convenient. So while everybody was panic selling, who was buying or who is accumulating now? And we're not talking about OTC. We know how OTC works. And even when I was talking about volume before, I wasn't talking about OTC. I was talking about things that we can actually see with our own eyes. We can actually chart them, right? Well, this leads me in to this article right here. Now, I have to give a shout out to the author. This is Oliver Redding. This is completely, totally him, but I think he couldn't have summed it up better. And this is exactly what has been on all of our minds. Now, this is entitled Conspiracy Theory or Solid Logic: Why I'm Watching Some Corporations' Plans Closer than the charts, and why today's big story might be much bigger. Now, the big story that he's referring to is the CBOE futures, right? So he goes on to say at the all-time high in 2017, it shocked a lot of people that it happened without the blessings or really any involvement of the usual players. You find almost every time billions of dollars are changing hands, right? Now, we do know about the Tether conspiracy. I'm not talking about that, okay? And I'm not talking about any other stuff. We're just talking about the fact that, you know, essentially there wasn't any custodial solutions and there was no futures, right? He says it's as if they found a way to press rewind, get a do-over, right? That they're sure as hell that they haven't wasted. Now, you know the saying, right? When a retail investor misses the train, you miss the train. But when institutional investors miss the train, well, they actually pull the train back, right? So one after another, the major financial institutions are setting up their crypto trading operations, developing new custody solutions, and made certain that the next time cryptocurrency explodes, they're guaranteed a piece of the pie. The author says, I promise you, they didn't do this thinking there's just a small chance of a crypto comeback. Why would these guys put so much time and effort into building this infrastructure for something that the majority might be saying is dead? The Wall Street Journal says it's been beat to hell, and Bitcoin Obituaries says that Bitcoin has died. I think it's over 380 times, right? So this means the first signs that the market is about to turn bullish won't be seen in the charts. Our first hints will be based on what the institutional heavyweights have on the horizon in regards to corporate planning. So while there are some standard market fundamentals pointing to a bullish market on the horizon, such as a spike in new addresses and an upturn in sentiment, something else caught my attention, he says. CBOE announcing they'll be wrapping up the Bitcoin futures trading and the market responding positively with growth as Bitcoin happens to break 4,000, or at least it's trying to currently, right? The demand for futures has dropped, while at the same time, indicators of increased interest in real Bitcoin ownership has gone up. I say that again. Indicators of increased interest in real Bitcoin ownership has gone up. So those training wheels are coming off. Investors who dabbled in Bitcoin futures because it was the only Bitcoin-related investment offer from firms that they trusted soon will have those firms offering them real Bitcoin ownership. So, of course, popularity of futures trading will decline when companies like Fidelity or backed by NASDAQ, Starbucks and Microsoft will be offering people the real thing. So this is the big difference. This is not cash settled. This is physically settled, right? So with the CBOE's announcement followed by price movement upward, plus in CBOE themselves making it clear they aren't closing the door on crypto and hinting at another product, well, we are seeing the shift begin. So you may want to pay attention to that. And I thought this was an incredible article. I thought it was pretty much exactly what we had all been thinking. Something very, very suspicious had happened, right? Futures contracts opened damn near at the all-time high. In fact, one of them did open on the day of the all-time high. Then we go into a year and 3-month bear market, right? Where it's just suppress all the way down. Then we have guys like Mark Dow closing out their short positions at 3,300. Bitcoin hits a low at 3,100. We start to go back up, and now Bitcoin futures contracts from the CBOE are being closed. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about it? Have they positioned themselves now to ride this baby all the way back up to 20K and even higher? Let me know what you think. I'm interested to hear. Do you guys think that this was all just one big giant manipulated market the past year and, a couple months? Or, do you think this is just healthy, normal market behavior? Let me know what you guys think about that below. So that was the big stories of the day. Now, getting on to some coin news, I told you Cardano has been experiencing a really, really nice run up these past few weeks. Well, Cardano 1.5 has been released to the mainnet today. Hooray, right? And there's also that speculation that they might get listed on Coinbase. If you guys hadn't checked out my video, I put that out the other day. You can, it'll be above right now. So Daedalus users need to upgrade to Cardano 1.5 by installing Daedalus 0.13, etc. You can check that out here. Now, also, we have Japan's GMO Internet Group, an internet company that provides several internet-related services, has released the results of a survey where nearly half of all respondents said that out of all the tokens, they expect XRP to rise the most in price. The company surveyed nearly 11,000 participants from January 30th to February 20th, and on top of it, 70% of respondents also believe that cryptocurrencies are long-term investments and that there is indeed potential in digital assets in the future. If you're interested in the original thing that came out, if you can read this, I'll drop it below for you, but I certainly can't read it. But this is the report right here, so I'll drop that below for you guys. Now, let's talk about what happened with the CELR network ICO. Well, according to CZ, the launchpad had the highest demand thus far, apparently taking 17 minutes and 35 seconds to conclude. In total, more than 39,000 people tried to participate, but only 3,129 managed to make it through, which means that there are 35,000 very angry people out there right now. That sucks. So let's see what happened. Let's see what happened this time. So they have just not been having a good streak with this. So rather than informing participants immediately whether their order was successful or not, Binance instead forced users into a queue, which forced the great majority of would-be investors to sit and wait for around 10 minutes to see if they clicked the buy button early enough to purchase tokens. That's the first thing. Beyond that, what should have been a relatively simple process turned into a frustrating nightmare for many investors, as actually getting through the purchase process was damn near impossible for the great majority of users, since the Launchpad site was completely riddled with problems. These problems ranged from mildly annoying to downright infuriating, with many users being forced to repeatedly log in or were wrongly told that they had a Binance coin balance of 0 and hence were unable to participate. For the few that managed to overcome these issues, there were often more challenges ahead, with the page reportedly becoming unresponsive for many after clicking the buy button. So obviously I'm a US citizen. I never can even try to get involved in these things, but I'm really just, this is so unfortunate, and this is really just not a good look, man. If they continue to do this, it's just not cool. So it says right here, I admired you at least until today, man. Do not take us for fools. Three issues in 2 minutes. No caching issue. Log out when refreshing. Unavailable network, and Binance balance to 0. So yeah, I mean, you could read the rest about this article. It goes on to pretty much relate this to the BTT and the FET one as well. So yeah, I mean, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, as far as CELR network is concerned on its own, I don't like, because I saw some people calling it a scam. Dude, I don't think CELR network is a scam whatsoever. I've talked to the guys. They're very legit. They're hard. They're working. They're doing their thing. This doesn't have anything to do with that. This just has to do with Binance, the way that they're setting this up, the way that, I don't know. It just seems really weird how people seem to always have this issue. So I have a question. Did you get into this? Did you try to get into this? Do you know anyone that actually was able to get into this? Because I remember Keith Waring had put a video out where he showed himself live trying to get into it, and he couldn't. And he recorded it and showed it to you. So let me know if any of you actually got into this thing. I'd be curious to find out. getting off that topic, I'm sure that's, if anyone's watching and you tried to get in, I'm sure I'm just frustrating you. I'm sorry. I'm just bringing you I'm just relaying the message, guys, you know, and you already know my feelings on launchpads. I've told you about that. So anyway, Wikipedia co-founder says stop using Chrome, and he's switched to Brave. So I'm not going to really go into this, but you know, he talks about the threat to our privacy and how it's just gotten worse since the 90s into the 2000s. And you know, we know our privacy is basically we don't have privacy at this point. Let's just put it that way. So he does say that he switched to Brave browser. He's had a better experience than he had with it when it first came out. So yes, it has gotten a lot better. I will agree as well. Yeah, he just goes on to talk about how the one good thing, though, is unlike Google, they don't have a profile about you, so it's quite good and a pleasure to use. I do like that. He does say there's still a few issues, some of them with JavaScript as well, but overall, he says he genuinely enjoys the Brave browser app, especially for iOS and Android. So there you go. Now, I also want to talk about the Ledger Nano S. Apparently, now it's the first and only certified hardware wallet. A lot of this stuff is like French companies, so I'm probably not even going to attempt to pronounce these, but Ledger is thrilled to announce that they received the CSPN first level security certificate, making it the first and only certified hardware wallet on the market. So it was issued by the ANSSI, the French cybersecurity agency. So you can see down here, they've developed a robust custom operating system named Bolos, which is blockchain open ledger operating system, and crypto asset apps run on top of the secure hardware. It's this combination of software and hardware that brings the highest level of security to each of the company's products. And also right here, a root of trust has been put in place by Ledger, acting as the certification authority to ensure the user's device is genuine. So this was a problem that we had worried about, you know, buying these corrupted, you know, or fake replicas of hardware wallets. Well, they say this genuineness is based on a mutual authentication between Ledger Nano S and Ledger's secure server. In other words, the Ledger Nano S authenticates the Ledger's secure server and vice versa. This ensures that it's not possible to create a counterfeited and possibly backdoor device. So congratulations. As you guys know, I mean, I use Ledger. That's my go-to hardware wallet. Yeah, but if you watch the channel by now, I'm sure you guys know that. So anyway, moving on, let's talk about some good news. We have Fortune 500 tech firm Avnet is adopting crypto payments, allowing customers to pay in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash for the company's software solutions. The company is catering to professionals in the tech industry. So it says that they're working with BitPay, all right, which processes over $1 billion annually in crypto payments. So basically, when a customer elects to make a purchase with Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, Avnet will work with BitPay to verify the funds, process the order, and complete the transaction. So they will also have the ability to manage and process cryptocurrency requests outside the US on a country-by-country basis. So that's pretty good news as well. Now, I saved this for the end because I know we're just so freaking tired of talking about an ETF. I'm tired of talking about an ETF. But if you stuck around the video this long, well, maybe you're the person that is interested in listening and I'm willing to report for you. So that being said, multiple respondents have filed comments with the SEC on the latest proposed rule change for the VanEck SolidX BTF. Turns out that out of the 7 comments that they have so far, 7 of them are negative. Sorry, guys. So let's see what's going on. So there was one positive one, and that came from Sammy Santos, and he said disapproval of an ETF because of manipulation, which is their main concern, and the protection of investors is contradictory because without an investment fund, the investment is susceptible to buy Bitcoins in deregulated exchanges and lose their investment. So it's kind of like a chicken before the egg thing, right? Like, well, if we got involved, it would be regulated, but we don't want to get involved because it's manipulated, but if we got involved, it would probably be less manipulated. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you know, just a bad cycle, right? So actually, you know what it reminds me of? You guys ever watch Terminator? I've always been like freaked out about how, so John Connor is the son of Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese, but Kyle Reese came back in time to protect her. And that's when they ended up making love and having John Connor the baby, but John Connor was the guy that sent back Kyle Reese. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit on a tangent here, but this is like the whole thing with the SEC right now. So the lengthiest negative comment from respondent Sam On, he accuses the ETF applicants and the 2008 Bitcoin white paper itself of grandly exaggerating the mathematical complexity involved in Bitcoin mining. The applicant's wording, he claims, works like a moat around the castle of Bitcoin mining, keeping us away from the reality of Bitcoins. All right? And now we also had respondent D. Barnwell, and he said, I would ask the SEC to take a watch and wait approach. The true game changer is the underlying technology blockchain, not the cryptocurrency. And to make inroads into this industry-changing technology, one does not need to have a financial product based on the cryptocurrency. So it looks like he's taking a blockchain, not crypto approach. And finally, one more bit of good news before we wrap it up. We have Galaxy Capital-backed institutional trading and portfolio management platform Caspian is launching trading in cryptocurrency derivatives. Caspian announced Wednesday that it has integrated its platform with the Deribit exchange to offer futures and options trading in crypto assets. Deribit offers futures and options trading for Bitcoin and Ethereum and also provides another perpetual swap product for Bitcoin. The exchange does not charge for deposits and withdrawals, and it offers up to 100x leverage. And if that's not enough, guys, we have a Bitcoin car spotted yet again, this time in Dusseldorf, Germany. So there you go. Riding around with my Bitcoin logo. So that being said, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. And no, I did not forget about the t-shirt giveaway from yesterday. So we have to go into yesterday's video right here, and we will copy this, pop on over to our random YouTube comment generator. Let's see how many we got. 411 unique comments. So, drum roll, please. Barry Mike, I also try the market God indicator, but I assume it will flash sell when it's already been too late. Actually, I didn't even check that today, man. So, yeah, I didn't even look at it. Honestly, I don't know. I kind of just like looking at the indicators we always look at. They seem to work all right for me. But you won, Barry Mike, so thank you so much. You know what to do. Hop on over to the About section and drop me an email. Obviously, once again, guys, any giveaways I will always state in the video itself, okay? Not in the comment section or anything like that, okay? So that being said, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. Obviously, I totally appreciate your support. You guys are freaking awesome. Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to download the Brave browser yet, definitely check the links below. I do have referral links for ledgers, for Brave browser, and all this types of stuff. It helps the channel out, and I do appreciate your support, but I don't require it of you. Just stopping by, saying hello. That's good enough for me. Thank you so much. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto, and peace out.